What is going on, guys? It's your boy Atomic Yin and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be reacting to the first official gameplay of Mafia the Old Country. If you guys are excited about this like I am, give this video a massive big fat like and subscribe and join the YouTube family. If you guys didn't actually know, we are currently streaming every single Mafia game. We've played through 1 and 2 and now we're on Mafia 3. So if you guys want to tune in, it's just on my lives. We're live every Monday, Wednesday and Saturday. Or, lucky for you, we're live every single day up to Wednesday. But, yeah, I'm super excited about this one. Hopefully you guys enjoy this pretty lengthy video. And are we all excited for August 8th? Because you know your boy is. Enjoy this reaction. Bye. So this is actually the first time I am legit seeing proper gameplay. You know what I mean? We've seen a little bit on the sort of trailer that was shown.
I want to speak with you about my daughter. When Isabella became involved, however, it became our business. Now we must send a message to all around that Torrisi takes care of his family and his affairs. Will you do that, Enzo?
That scene was in the trailer.
Good.
I like the lighting, very cinematic.
Let's go.
Oh, and like very fluent
meet with Tino's men.
from
They're on a
cutscenes.
farm near Ludovici's villa, keeping an eye on things. They can be a little rough, but first, let's get you what you need to get the job done.
So the only thing I kind of know about this is the fact that it's not like truly open world. It's kind of very linear like the first two games.
Anyway, you ready?
I am.
Confidence is good, but don't let it become arrogance. Oh, Valerio! Enzo here needs to see you about the pest problem.
I'll be in my workshop. Send him down.
Also, no hood. I don't know if that's purpose or if they actually turned it off, but I like it.
Not just a stable boy anymore, eh?
Something like that.
Well, if you're here for grown man's work, I have what you need. Take a look around. Choose what you like and then come and see me.
So this is legit exactly like Mafia 1 with the workshop, where you can look around, choose your own gear. And the hood is clean. You guys on TikTok can't see that, but on YouTube, if you're watching this video, like, yeah, man, that is very clean hood. I like that.
The hunting shotgun. Packs a real punch up close. She'd help you out with your pest problem. You've chosen then.
I have.
Good. I suggest you go fetch a car. You never know. These pests you're after could start shooting back.
There we go, guys. Here's the look at the open world a little bit here. This is at Sicily. They've actually cut a lot of this. I was expecting more of like a fluid gameplay, but they've sort of cut it down to the most important sections. But the vegetation and everything looks really nice. And you have the little skip drive feature if you choose to accept it. Obviously, we'll be doing that. So I fully want to get immersed. This is Mafia. Oh god, what Mafia is it? The Old Country, sorry. Mafia of the Old Country.
We're ready. Just give the word.
The Don has entrusted this story to the Caruso, so listen well, boy. Ludovici knows the devil follows close behind. He thinks Spataro security will protect him. You will prove him wrong. Bring the worm alive to the ruins of the old castello.
Just me? Alone?
Make a mess of this, and any misguided fate the Don has in you will be lost. Tu capisci?
Don't be an idiot. Avoid the main gate.
Welcome in, Lee. How you doing, man? It is releasing 8th. This is a reaction to the extended gameplay. That's currently on YouTube. So this video is actually going on YouTube, so say hi. Now, I'm hoping... This is the new one, yes. I'm hoping there is a more focus on stealth on this one. I'm a very stealth player. And you couldn't really do much stealth. Gory, I like it. There's a lot more going on. So obviously it said then you have like 3 attacks with the blade. I don't know if that's like stealthy or... I am loving the hood element though. It is very clean. Okay, so he's now used up the knife slots, I've noticed. There was like 3 attacks there. So I don't know if the knife is now out of play. Okay, so you sharpen the knife so you can reuse it. Okay, interesting. Is the knife a big... I love how it automatically locks on the head as well. Just for them. Headshots. Yeah, that is so sick, dude. That is so sick. Joseph, this is Mafia, the Old Country. Welcome in, man.
One day I'll own a motor car.
Are you sick? And your wage?
How does a buffoon like that manage? He's no better than you or me.
Maybe not.
A grenade?
Got a grenade!
What?
It's still here.
I don't know what them buttons... I don't know what them buttons are when the enemy goes down. We're getting into combat now. We've screwed the stealth out the window. We're going full on. Full on loud. The gunplay looks very nice, to be honest with you. Obviously got that automatic aim assist that we love to see. Yeah, again, guys, these, the hood elements, man. I just love how clean it is. Another thing is, in 2025 is the AI. The AI looks a little bit clunky, a little bit. I'm loving the different weapons, different styles of attacking each mission. Like they said, it's very linear. So hopefully there's a very big focus on the story element. And it blends very seamless into the cinematics. Okay, and guys, that was the Mafia, the Old Country sort of gameplay. I've been quite behind on it. So apparently when IGN showcased this 9-minute gameplay, there was a lot of compression with the actual video. So that was actually the official 2K Games showing off the Mafia gameplay. And it felt not disappointing, but it felt a little bit choppy the way it was edited. It seemed very rushed. And yes, they showcased a few elements with the stealth. I love the HUD design. The open world looks gorgeous, but yeah, we didn't really see much of it because obviously the game is very linear. But I didn't really like the way it was cut together and the mission layout. I was expecting a lot more, to be honest with you. But there's new Mafia the Old Country, which was a hands-on preview by IGN. Now, I know a lot of people think, no, obviously IGN, you know, they're a bit of a hit and miss, but there's actually 15, nearly 16 minutes of brand new Mafia gameplay footage, which is recorded and they've previewed. Apparently IGN have played through about 3 hours of the game, and I thought, hey, just to make this video a little bit longer and give you guys as much information as possible, let's react to this sort of video as well and do even more of a rundown on Mafia the Old Country coming out August 8th. Like I said, we are currently playing through every single Mafia game over on my channel. If you guys go into the live tab, you can see every single video, probably going to make it into a playlist. And yeah, we're actually playing through every single Mafia game leading up to Mafia the Old Country. So just want to say 2K, if you are watching this by any chance and you want to give us an early copy, I would love to make a video on it. But guys, let's watch this together and see what's crack-a-lacking. So sit back, relax, and let's go.
Before I sat
I'll
down
do it in
to
4K
play
as well.
about 3 hours of Mafia the Old Country, Hangar 13 President Nick Baines repeatedly mentioned his team's desire for players to finish this prequel story. And so with that goal in mind, the latest Mafia game turns back the clock both chronologically, it's set in the early 1900s in Sicily, and in game design as well. Mafia
Combat looks
3,
quite
while
nice.
very good, went full open world, and the developers seem to feel similarly about it in hindsight as players did. It just didn't fit Mafia well.
Okay, I just want to pause right there. So obviously, I know might pause through this whole section, but I'm currently playing through obviously Mafia 3 at the moment, and I do agree. Obviously, it's a big change from the first two Mafia games, which were semi-open world cities, but there's nothing really in it to explore apart from collectibles. So Mafia 3 was the first one of the series to actually go fully open world with it, filled with so much stuff to do. And I like the change they've done, but it is very repetitive and quite off-putting, to put it kindly, because there's just so much to do in the game when really you just want to focus on the story aspect. So I'm glad they're going back to the roots.
The first two Mafias were gorgeous, narrative-driven, linear games set against the backdrop of a stunning and highly detailed world that, while explorable, really only existed as a beautiful backdrop for your main mission, rather than trying to story-first, not open-world action adventure.
I like that.
And interestingly, your primary upgradable weapon isn't a gun, though they are certainly here, but rather your knife. Stealth is fully supported.
Yeah, because I noticed in this section that the knife had 3 health bars, or like 3 uses. And I remember saying, like, earlier in the video, I was like, can you upgrade your knife? Or, like, is the knife, like, a main part of the game?
It's only going to be $50 at launch, or, as I like to call it, a reverse Randy Pitchford price tag. When I first picked up the controller, playing on a high-end PC, which is where the footage you're seeing here came from,
gorgeous
game.
1900s and late very cinematic Enzo storytelling.
Has recently escaped the sulfur mine.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be the first mission of the game. Obviously, it's very early on, but I think the game is going to start with this.
He spent his childhood laboring in and started to become his own free man while working in the vineyard of Don Teresi, a Sicilian mafioso who protects the people and property of the region from the thieving bandits that lurk in the hills, in exchange for monthly protection payments, of course.
A pleasure, as always.
I really like how the old country tries to depict Enzo's progression from a very innocent kid into a bound by blood, fully vetted member of the Teresi outfit who's got the green light to do anything he thinks needs to be done for the good of the family.
Bam!
We see this play out in Chapter 3, where Enzo's first taste of life outside the vineyard with the Teresis comes when he's brought along on a series of collections by Luca, the Don's right-hand man, and Cesare, another made member of the family. Luca and Cesare are essentially the mafioso version of an angel and devil on your shoulders, where Luca preaches patience and using violence only as a last resort, while Cesare is more of a shoot first and ask questions later kind of guy.
We let him act tough in front of
Very
the boy.
similar to Mafia 1.
We remind him of his obligations.
For example, on our first collection stop, we visited Marco, an olive farmer. Marco always pays on time, but on this occasion, he's late. Luca gives me an unloaded gun to be used only as an intimidation tactic to get Marco to pay up.
Yours is unloaded. You give him a chance to be brave.
But Cesare told me, quote, an extra pair of hands helps jog their memory about the late payment. Side note, I think I saw more fruit in the 3 hours of playing Mafia the Old Country than I've seen in any game ever. We might need a new Game Awards category for this. Ultimately, no bullets were fired nor punches thrown, and I got the Don's money from Marco's safe after finding the combination nearby. I appreciate that Hangar 13 put thought into Enzo's journey into the Teresi crime family here and didn't just instantly let you become a murdering psychopath. Things escalated slightly on our second stop, though, after we rode our horses across the Sicilian countryside to the farm of Mr. Bangalino, whose workers, led by a man named Manuela, are on strike.
You can't have strikes around here, Manuele. You and your friends need to get back to work.
By the way, I can't emphasize how much I enjoyed staring at the countryside while riding to each destination on this mission.
The game is incredibly
Mafia: The
stunning.
Old Country ditches the proprietary engine it's used in all 3 previous Mafia games and moves to Unreal Engine 5 for this installment.
Fully.
To be fair,
This is Pod 5.
Unreal Engine
First,
5.
fully immersive
Fantastic.
sleep system. Intelligent.
the previous engine was no slouch. Mafia 2 in particular was a strikingly good-looking game at the time it came out, and Unreal maintains the series' reputation for delivering lovely locations. The perfect blue skybox and pillowy clouds that sit atop the rolling green hills and farmlands did a great job of establishing the old country's Sicilian setting. I can't wait to see more of this world in the rest of the campaign. Anyway, Manuela pulled a knife, introducing me to what...
Yeah, again, just before, I mean, the guy's literally gonna say what this is, but kind of like boss battles, like hand-to-hand combat, because you can see the health bar top right. So I presume hand-to-hand combat, which is very, very, very cool. Very like Ghost of Tsushima kind of fights.
Is, as I mentioned earlier, perhaps the weapon that Mafia the Old Country puts the most importance on. You can unlock and earn new knives, and each
So wait, so slash, thrust, strike, dodge,
has
parry.
unique modifying properties, giving you a reason beyond the cosmetic appearance of each blade to choose a specific one that suits your combat preferences. You've got a lot of moves in a knife fight: thrusts, slashes, parries, and dodges. Like in the Batman Arkham games, heavy attacks can't be parried and must instead be dodged. And there was still one final collection errand to run in Chapter 3, and as you may have guessed by now, the cannoli hit the fan on this one. A visit to a farmer named Ficera sees him yell at us in a reversal because his new water pump was stolen by bandits and the protection he pays Don Teresi handsomely for didn't protect his valuable property. It's finally here that the patient Luca tells Enzo that he's got free reign to put live ammo in his gun and not be afraid to pull the trigger, as these lawless bandits were effectively putting their hands in the Don's pocket by stealing from Fischera.
We can't have that.
This leads to a hunt up the hillside through 2 separate bandit camps before we finally squared off with, and shot many bullets into, the dozen or so wayward thieves that stood between us and the water pump they stole. The familiar third-person
Guns sound
shooting
meaty.
gameplay will be instantly recognizable,
Especially the
not
shotguns.
just to Mafia series regulars, but also anyone who's played a good third-person action game in the past decade. The Old Country isn't breaking the mold here, but the gameplay systems are comfortable, effective, and fun. Less comfortable, at least for me, was the cutscene that followed the death of the last of the bandits when Cesare cuts off the finger of one of the bandits, takes his gold ring as a bonus payment for his troubles, and tosses the detached digit into the well.
Could be pure gold. He's got no use for it now.
Enzo.
Damn.
Isabella.
With all of your onboarding completed in Chapter 3, the next section of Mafia the Old Country saw one massive mission.
See, this is what I wanted from the last video. This is so much more of a deep dive, more gameplay, showing off different variety of mission layouts and weapons and
play out.
just more about the story.
Daughter Isabella, who Enzo clearly has reciprocated feelings
Okay,
for.
okay.
Keep an eye on me.
Dude, loving the Mafia.
Be lucky if you can keep up.
Oh, that's not looking good, man.
The son of Baron Fontanella, who's arguably an even bigger fish in the Sicilian mafioso sea than Don Teresi is. Gennaro wants to show off his fancy new car, and he also wants to woo Isabella, so he sets up a picnic date in the nearby ruins. It starts with Enzo having to babysit the gathering and ends with a kidnapping, a car chase involving you on a horse, a trail of bodies left in Enzo's wake, a stabbed, double-crossing business partner, a happy Don Teresi, and an even more smitten with Enzo, Isabella. It started quietly, with Gennaro driving Cesare in his car to the ruins, and Isabella insisting on riding there on horseback alongside Enzo. Yes, you'll be able to choose and ride your own horse in Mafia the Old
Yay!
Country, with each steed even having its own personality and characteristics.
Which means don't get too attached if you've played Red Dead Redemption 2. That's all I'm saying.
Based on what I played, it didn't necessarily seem like your choice of horse would materially affect gameplay, but it was a welcome way to add a bit of life and meaning to the narrative nevertheless.
Here we are.
A pit stop en route to the ruins
Oh
show
my
off
god,
the
this
camera
game is
you can
stunning.
take pictures of scenic spots with.
Have you ever used one of these before?
Unfortunately, it was the only opportunity I had to use it in the 3 hours I played, but hopefully you get to use it semi-regularly over the course of the campaign. You're also
Cool.
introduced to the driving mechanics of the Old Country after you rendezvous with Cesare and Isabella in the form of a low-stakes race around the ruins, perhaps a nod to one of Mafia 1's most infamous missions. But while Cesare and Enzo are messing around with Gennaro's car during his date with Isabella,
I like stuff like
bandits,
this.
I won't spoil their identity here, swooped in with guns blazing and kidnapped them both. They were really only after Gennaro, and having to take Isabella as well proved to be, well, you can imagine it ended up complicating things severely for the kidnappers. I got to wield a shotgun in this segment and found that it packed a satisfying punch. There was no bringing a knife, let alone stealth chokeouts, to a gunfight here. I brought Enzo in with an itchy trigger finger. After the aforementioned chase,
Very
I was
satisfying.
able to run down their wagon and gun down plenty of the kidnapping cadre and rescue Isabella, who rewarded Enzo with a kiss. Don't tell the Don. But while Cesare brought Isabella back home, Enzo still had to get Gennaro back, because returning without either one would leave Enzo equally dead from either father. It's this section that allowed me to really unleash my inner Sam Fisher, as it was set up for stealth rather nicely in an open area, letting me pick my path and remain undetected. If you give me a stealth option in a game, I'm gonna take it 9 times out of 10, and Mafia the Old Country was no different. The developers later told me that they don't expect most players to make it through the entire area, which was admittedly quite large and stocked with a ton of bad guys, without alerting anyone. I took this as a personal challenge, and while I held out for quite a while, eventually I did get spotted and had to start shooting. But while you are in the Old Country's stealth segments, basic Splinter Cell rules are in effect. You crouch to make less noise, throw coins or picked up objects like bottles to distract bad guys, and can either knife them quickly or try to strangle them unconscious, which triggers a button-mashing QTE you've got to be quick about, lest they slip out of your grasp. There are even conveniently placed
I like it, different variety.
around that you can hide
Don't
the
mind that.
bodies in so that they're not discovered. The Old Country doesn't break any new ground here, but in my experience, it does familiar stealth gameplay reasonably well. I do appreciate that there are upgradable bead slots on your rosary that affect gameplay, like this one that dampens the sound of your footsteps.
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciated those dampened footsteps until I reached the last man standing for the kidnappers, Messina, whose real story
God
you'll
damn
learn
it,
when you play
Messina.
the game yourself. Enzo challenged him to a knife fight, which Messina accepted by dropping his gun and engaging Enzo on his terms. I was having trouble timing my parries just right in the ensuing battle, but I kept enough blood in Enzo's body for him to emerge as the victor in the fight. Side note, I died a couple times during
Good job,
my
my
3
dude.
hours while playing on normal, but there are multiple difficulty levels to choose from if you want to ratchet things up or down. And after returning to the vineyard, Don Teresi, after hearing of Isabella's kidnapping, tells Enzo he wants Messina alive.
You put the rest of those bastards in the ground. Messina, you bring back
Oh, I
to me
love
alive.
his voice, man.
Yeah, about that. But ultimately, I did good, the boss said, and Isabella made her feelings quite clear with the smile on her face directed at Enzo. Chapter 5, the final one I got to play, let me again flex my stealth muscles by tasking me with infiltrating the home of the man ultimately responsible for calling for the Gennaro, and by collateral damage extension, Isabella kidnapping, and dragging him out of his house and back to my boss. Or, put another way, to kidnap the kidnapper. This mission could truly have been pulled straight from a Splinter Cell game, as I had my choice of ways up the hillside to the large villa at the top. I kept it quiet, stabbing my way through the human obstacles in front of me before eventually getting into the house and to my target. I wouldn't be so lucky on the way out though, as by the time I walked out with my target in tow, everyone still left standing knew what was going on, and I had to shoot my way out.
It's normally the case.
As to what happened to that man I brought to the Don, well, you'll find out. I left my extended hands-on session with Mafia the Old Country with very few concerns. In roughly 3 hours, I played 3 chapters, but how many chapters are there? Whatever
Don't
the
know.
number is, it didn't feel like a story that was going to be wrapped up in a tidy 6 hours. I don't know how long the Old Country ultimately is, but when factoring in the studio president's comment about wanting everyone to see the end credits roll, as well as the $50 price tag, it's safe to presume
I mean, it's
that
a
this
full-price
won't be a
game.
40 or even 30-hour game. But for my money, that's fine. I'm a dad with a job. I'm good with Mafia the Old Country being a game I can get through in a weekend or two. And more importantly, I'm now quite confident I'm going to have a lot of fun playing through this one, however long it lasts.
Good, man. I like this.
Solid if familiar, with enjoyable stealth, shooting, knife combat, and driving. And perhaps the most important ingredient in a Mafia game, the story, had me engaged and eager to see where it was gonna go. It'll be good to get back to a Mafia 1 and 2 vibe again. It's
Definitely.
been a long time. For more on Mafia the
Definitely.
Old Country,
I'm excited
don't
about
miss
it,
our
man.
exclusive gameplay
That was
from last week,
so
as
much
well
better
as
than the
official story trailer. And for everything else in the world of video games, cruise on over.
So much better than the last gameplay. Very good, man. Very good. Okay, guys, that was the Mafia the Old Country hands-on preview. What did you guys think to this long video? So much better. So much better than the slight mission walkthrough that we went through on the other video. It was a lot more versatile in the gameplay. They showed off so many. They actually talked about like 3 different chapters, breaking them down, which is like, you know, spoiler territory. But you know, the fact that we actually got to see that in action without spoiling everything what would happen, it was very cool. I like how there was there's some missions light-hearted, you know, races and stuff like that, and I like how it sort of flows. Yeah, I am so looking forward to this game. Like I said, we are currently streaming every single Mafia game. We're currently on Mafia 3, so make sure you guys are subscribed and come check us out. But are you looking forward to Mafia the Old Country? Hopefully it recaptures that Mafia 1, Mafia 2 story and cinematics, and yeah, let me know if you are playing it on August 8th. Guys, I'll see you lot in the next video reaction, but have a great rest of your day and peace. See you in the next one.